What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So, Golden Boy Promotions Vice President said the winner of Gabe Rosado versus Willie Monroe, which will be featured on the Canelo Smith undercard as the co-main event, may be in line to face Canelo in December. Of course, Canelo has to get past Liam Smith, which is the main event in Texas at the AT&T Stadium next month. And I want to talk about this subject. I'm really not understanding how Canelo, his career has been handled. When he first was announced that he was moving back to HBO, I was like, wow, this is big. This is before I knew about all the budget cuts and stuff with HBO. I'm like, man, that's big. HBO came up. They got a star. But you look at it, since Canelo has moved back over and transitioned back over to HBO with Golden Boy, he fought James Kirkland, who was on a 1.5 year type layoff from Glenn Tapia to when he fought Canelo. And he didn't have Ann Wolfe, his best trainer. He knocked him out. Fought Cotto, great fighter, Hall of Famer, so you get all the credit in the world for beating a legend like that. Then he fought Amir Khan, knocked him out welterweight with 2 stoppage losses in lower weight divisions. And he said all this big bad wolf stuff. I invited Golovkin in the ring and we can put the gloves right back on. I fear no man. I don't see anything special. He said all this stuff either at the post-fight interview after he knocked out Khan or before that, right? He also said something to the effect of, cut the bullshit, or I'm Mexican, we don't fuck around, I fear no man, these types of things. Then he proceeds to vacate his belt, so that obviously gave him some backlash, because you said all that and then you didn't fight your mandatory, which was Gennady Golovkin, a fight people really want. And they're saying, oh, it has some marinade and stuff like that, whatever. Then you pick a person out of the whole crop of 154 pounders that no one really even knows in Liam Smith, and that's your fight. Now they're saying Gabe Rosado, Willie Monroe winner may get the shot, right? It's not making sense to me. And this is no diss to Gabe Rosado or Willie Monroe, but most people at this point I know how boxing fans operate, and they're going to say, oh, these guys lost to Gennady Golovkin. They're Golovkin's leftovers. And if you look at it, I think the biggest problem people have with Canelo right now is the chronological order of how these things are happening, right? Like things like your mandatory is Golovkin, you gave up your belt, you're going through a lawsuit and you didn't want to be bothered with it and the artificial deadlines or whatever, so you dropped the belt. It made you look like you were ducking the man, like Golovkin, right? Then you fight at a weight you haven't fought at in 5 fights, which is 154, so you're looking down, but you're also saying in interviews that you may go up to middleweight and the goal is to fight Golovkin. So why would you be looking down, dropping down in weight when you haven't done that in 5 fights? From James Kirkland all the way to Amir Khan was all at Canelo weight at 155. Now you're shedding an extra pound for a guy we really don't know, which seems to be a waste of time, because if you beat him, some people consider Liam Smith as an unproven champion, so you don't really get much merit or credentials from that. If it's a tough fight, then of course you're going to receive some criticism for that, because you had a tough fight with someone that the public widely in the States doesn't really know, right? But let's say he gets past Liam Smith because he is the favorite. Then you're talking about going to middleweight. So why did we waste our time seeing you fight at 154 if we know for a fact that you're not going to stay in the division and fight the likes of Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade or a guy like the Charlo brothers or Edeslandi Lara rematch? We know you're leaving 1 to 160, so it's like kind of a filler fight that's a waste of time. If we know you're not going to be there you win the title from Liam Smith and you're not going to be there to defend it. Then on top of that, if you really are serious about fighting, I seen a recent interview where Golden Boy's Oscar De La Hoya said something to the effect of, we can't afford to wait for Canelo Triple G past 2017. I didn't even bother reading it because it's more of the same. So if that's the case, why do we have to wait till 2017 anyway? Triple G's team sound like they pretty much want the fight now. So you could have said we shouldn't wait past 2016 to make the fight. If you told Golovkin, hey, get past Kell Brook in September, we'll fight you in December, I'm pretty sure he would say yes, unless it's at like a catch weight or something. He might not say yes. But if you say, we'll come up to 160, fight you in December, you take up whatever tune-up fight you need, I'll fight Kell Brook, and then we fight, he'll probably oblige, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really looking good for Canelo at the moment, because none of this is making sense. Like I said, you beat Liam Smith, you don't really get all the fame and accolades because he's considered an unproven champion, right? And then you're gonna probably have to vacate the belt if you're moving up to 160. And then if you fight the winner of Gabe Rosado, Willie Monroe, 2 fighters that lost to Golovkin, people are gonna say is Golovkin's leftovers. How does that really prepare you for Triple G? right? I feel like all of Canelo's recent fights are a fight behind. What I mean by that is, instead of fighting Amir Khan, you should have fought Liam Smith, right? If you want to, okay, just a solid 154 pounder. If you're going to vacate your belts anyway, fight Liam Smith. Now in December, if you're going to fight Willie Monroe winner, instead of fighting in September, like if you really look at it, if Canelo fought Liam Smith in May, right, beat him, then in September, instead of fighting Liam Smith, he fought Gabe Rosado, Willie Monroe winner, right? And then he's going to fight a third time in December. Then he could have fought Curtis Stevens, David Lemieux, or whatever if he was victorious in those past two bouts. So, like, it's not making sense to me. If you're really trying to acclimate and prepare for this guy Golovkin, then why are you fighting this level of opposition? Like, if you beat Gabe Rosado, Willie Monroe winner, that doesn't really stipulate that you're ready for Golovkin, because he's a way different animal. To my knowledge, Willie Monroe still has 6 knockouts. Gabe Rosado has about 9 losses. He had a fight with a pretty unknown guy in his last fight, and he got knocked down, even though he won that fight. He had maybe like a 5-year stretch where he had loss after loss after loss. And credit to him, he fought tough competition. He was fighting the best names out there, but I mean, that's still on his resume. And again, these are both 2 guys that lost to Gennady Golovkin. So by no means does it mean that you can beat Golovkin, right? I think Canelo stylistically can pose problems to Golovkin, possibly beat him. I would favor Golovkin, but it's just I'm not understanding Golden Boy's approach. I think, like I said, their fight schedule is a couple fights behind. Like, I think at this point, if you really want to fight Golovkin by next year, you should already be fighting middleweights. Willie Monroe and Gabe Rosado, or one of those guys, should have been your fight for September, not Liam Smith, right? And then December, you could fight David Lemieux or somebody else in the middleweight, Eubank Jr. or Billy Joe Saunders or whoever. And then that's, to me, a schedule where you're really conditioning yourself to fight the #1 middleweight, which is Gennady Golovkin, your old mandatory, before you dropped your belt. That's just my opinion. I just don't see with the Willie Monroe, Gabe Rosado fight, I don't think it's going to necessarily build the most interest. I think they can have a good fight with themselves, but those are guys that got title shots versus Golovkin, right? And they came up short. So the thing is, in boxing, most of the time you fall down that ladder, you have to climb back up. So that's what I would want to see. Like, instead of them getting an immediate title shot at Canelo or just a big mega fight, let them, the winner of Gabe Rosado, Willie Monroe, that's what's wrong with boxing. Let the winner of that fight build back up. Beat Hassan Indam, beat Curtis Stevens after that, beat David Lemieux after that. And then you start beating some of the upper echelon, middle of the road, B+, whatever level middleweights. Then you're in line for a Canelo fight. But that's not what's happening in boxing. You got guys who, they're 1 fight removed. Like, literally, Willie Monroe fought Golovkin, took like a year off after being stopped by Golovkin. Then he beat John Thompson, the same guy that Liam Smith beat for the title at 154. So I think that he moved up and fought him at 160, I believe. And then if he beats Gabe Rosado, he'll be on a 2-win streak in 2 years or something like that, right? And then he's back in the title shot picture. Hey, that's just not making sense. Same thing with Gabe Rosado. If he wins, then he's on a Josh Clottey. He fought some other guy, that the one I was telling you guys got knocked down, and then he beats Willie Monroe, and then now he's in the title picture again. It's just weird how boxing's working and how they're handling Canelo's career. I think they should definitely at this point be gunning to get Canelo in there with a solid, sturdy middleweight, like a Billy Joe Saunders, Chris Eubank, guys like that. You know what I mean? If you really want to prepare for Golovkin. That's just my 2 cents. Again, some people are going to get mad. Oh, you hate Canelo. It's not about hate. That's what I know when you guys are emotionally attached to these fighters, because it's always about hate or love. It's always about you hate this fighter if there's some level of criticism. When Canelo's doing great things for boxing, for his career, he gets props. Simple. You know what I mean? He fought Cotto. You never heard me say anything. In fact, I picked him to beat Cotto, and a lot of people said I was stupid, right? But I'm just not understanding how he's being handled right here. And I'm not a sheep. I'm not just going to cower down. There's a lot of people who are pawns in this boxing game. They're sheep. And I'd much rather take the Muhammad Ali approach. Either I'm going to speak my mind, and you're going to hate it or you're going to love it. But at the end of the day, what I say will be remembered as something. I'm not comparing myself to Muhammad Ali. I'm just saying I'd rather stand by what I really believe in than give you guys this facade and tell you things that I don't feel because it'll go over easier. I don't care about criticism. I don't care if people are mad at me, because like I say time and time again, with new media, you can dislike, but you can't disprove. There's a lot of people who they don't like this pressure for Canelo to step up and fight people, or this criticism. And again, I'm not out here calling Canelo a bitch or a pussy or anything insulting his manhood or nothing like that. I'm just saying I don't understand how his career is being handled, and I have every right to give somebody constructive criticism like that, right? I've earned my stripes, he's earned his stripes, and it is what it is. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and tell you something that I don't really believe for the sake of making you feel better. I'm just not gonna do that, you know what I mean? And I just, right now at this particular juncture, I don't understand what they're doing with Canelo. If you're gonna move out to middleweight, start fighting credible names at middleweight that'll prepare you for Triple G. Other than that, then I'm not gonna believe that Canelo and Triple G will happen next year unless you start fighting people that would gear you up for that, period. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.